Hello everyone and welcome back to FS19. It's Artemusprime and we're back in Ravenport, which is my altered version of the Ravenport map from FS19. Last stream I gave you a little tour of the farm, and first and foremost apologies because the audio wasn't quite perfect. Some of the game sounds were a little bit loud over my voice, so apologies for that. But as promised, today we're going to turn our attention over to the trees. So I planted these probably about a game week ago now, and they are fully grown. It always confuses me just as to whether these are fully grown or not. I always have to look at some of the pictures comparing the fully grown size to the sort of 60 or 70% grown size. Luckily I've got some less mature trees growing at the same time, so I can kind of tell that these are fully grown. And yeah, as I mentioned, we've got to buy some logging equipment. So I'm going to buy a tree feller. I've got a mod which I downloaded last time, and yeah, I picked out which one I'm going to buy. So we're going to go into the store map, purchase that. I'm going to buy it used, so bring it back to the farm, get it serviced up, and then I'm going to start bringing some trees down. We'll do a row at a time, and as we're bringing the trees down, we'll be cutting them to size, and then we'll get them into our log trailer. Cool. So let's buy our forestry machine. So this is the one I had picked out previously. It's the John Deere 1170G, 268 horsepower. It says a top speed of 12, but when I tried this previously, I think it gets up to 14. Going for the trailer board wheels, not going for the chains, and going to get it used. Yep, I have got the used machinery mod, which just helps bring down that price. Obviously a very expensive piece of equipment, so not going to buy that brand new, going to go for used. No option to change any colours or any other extras, so let's just go ahead and buy that. Cool. So 297,600 that set us back, but still got enough money in the bank, which is good. And here we go. Here she is, John Deere 1170G. We'll start her up and get her back to the farm. Yeah, a bit of a slow journey back. 14 mile an hour is the top speed. That gives us a little chance to have a little look around on the route back to the farm. That's interesting, you get a camera view of the cutting arm. Interestingly enough, there's no beacons on it, so when there's no beacons, maybe we can put some indicators on. But there are no indicators either, which maybe brings me to believe that this isn't a roadworthy vehicle, and it should be on a trailer. I guess that makes sense with the top speed being 14 mile an hour. So yeah, for anyone who's watching, I'm streaming through Twitch, and then that's streaming onwards to YouTube. Planning to stream to both at the same time because it makes sense. Try and keep both groups of people happy, and that way YouTube kind of records my content for me, and I've got the opportunity to download it and edit it and make episodes if I want to. But also gives the benefit of live streaming and seeing everything from start to finish if you really want to. So, nearly back at the farm. Yeah, also, if anyone who's watching, check out my channel Artemusprime on YouTube, and you'll see my first video of a little tour of the farm. You can see what we've got where, and mention a couple of the mods that I use. Cool. So, back at the farm, and first stop is the service trailer. We're just going to get this back up and serviced to full. Cool, so we can see we bought it used with 5 hours 20 minutes operating time, and it costs us 2,700 to repair it, which, considering we saved around 70 grand off the asking price, I think that is well worth it. So let's close this up now, and we'll just back up slightly because it needs a bit of fuel. He says as he runs over the dolly. Cool, yeah, another mod that I've got is the diesel filling station. Just going to fill her right up to the top. Get this closed. And then we'll head off over to the field, where we're going to start doing some logging. Logging, felling, I don't really know what you'd call it. Cool, so I'm going to start on the second row, just to give a bit of space away from the horses and so forth, and yeah, just until I get the gist of it, give myself a bit of space. Cool, so we'll do this row, do a bit of narrative whilst we're doing it, and then I'll head over, get the truck and log trailer, and we'll collect them up. Oh, let's turn on the harvester. And we'll set a cutting length to 6 meters. Cool, let's cut our first tree. There we go, first tree cut. That was pretty slick. Kept that nice and tidy, which was good. And if I remember correctly, We need to get this back in. Oh, I've still got a piece in there that I didn't see. There we go. Cool, yeah, there is a way to... Here we go. Can adjust that. It does seem to move with the weight of the tree, which is quite handy. And you can rotate it as well. I am playing with keyboard and mouse, so sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. You have to press either the left mouse key, the right mouse key, both of them together, or the middle mouse wheel to get stuff to move. So it just takes a little bit of getting used to. I have thought about getting a steering wheel and oh, I can't remember the name of it now, but the sort of mount with all the buttons on and a little joystick for moving like the front loader or the arm in this case. So yeah, let's cut this all the way through. Seems to be always a little meter length bit at the end. Right, you notice when I cut, I try and swing the arm a little bit, and that's mainly just to try and get the tree to fall, because sometimes it just stays where it is. Just do a bit of backing up here to get the tree cutting in a good direction away from the tractor. Oh. Just trying to keep things as neat as possible, which is easier said than done. Yeah, if anyone is watching and you've got any tips or advice or comments, whatever it may be, just feel free to stick it in there. I will review at the end because I've not got dual monitors. I can't sort of view as we're going, but I'll take anything into account for next time. So yeah, this is my first farm on FS19. I have played FS17 and also 15. I think I did play the one before that, which I can't quite remember what the number was. But such a long time ago, it's hard to remember. And it's been many years between I've played each of them, so some of the games sort of merge into one, really. But always had good memories playing this game. I was perhaps a little bit late to it. I know this game's been out a while now, but that's mainly down to price, really. I remember I bought FS17 when it was relatively new, and you know, it sort of cost around 30, maybe even more pounds. I think this was the same when it first came out, so I did want to wait just till it came down on Steam. That's sort of my usual way. There we go. Thanks, log. Yeah, that's my usual approach to sort of buying games. If I really want it, I stick it on my wish list on Steam or whatever it might be. And then if it's sort of on there 6 months and it comes on sale, the sale price is good, or you know, I'm still really keen on it, I sort of use that as the basis for then buying the game. I think I've done that on most games other than Red Dead Redemption 2, which obviously came out on Xbox and I think PlayStation first. So once that came out on PC, I pre-ordered that because I'd been waiting a little while for that one. Yeah. For anyone wondering, this is my first time using the proper lugging equipment, so if you think I'm not looking very experienced in it, you are right. But with practice comes perfection, right? So that's what I'm doing here. So I think most rows have 10 trees in, so we should have 10 nice piles of trees, and I think the trailer size I've got is 12 meters. I think it's 12 meters. It can take a little bit longer because obviously you can have stuff overhanging the back, but yeah, I'll be having 2 piles of 6 meter length logs, and I think the trailer will probably fit half of the logs per row. So basically each row will have 2 trips to the sawmill. Yeah, so a bit of back and forth, but I'm mainly about increasing the size of the trailer as we go. I've also got the trailer with the hitch on the back, so what that might mean is I might be able to get 2 trailers hooked up to 1 lorry, and then there we go. There we go. Right, first row done. So I'm just going to move this over here, out of the way a little bit, and just realign the cab and the arm. That's pretty cool actually, how the cab moves with the arm on separate pivot points. So it's pretty cool. And then there we go. Just get that all back to square one, shall we? Cool. So, nice line of trees cut up there. We'll go jump in the lorry. I did show this in a tour, but it is the Iveco 190/38. It's a mod, pretty cool. maybe more British, European than suits this map. I guess this map is more American, but hey, we all import European cars, so why not lorries? Cool, so we got the trailer hitched up. And again, as I mentioned in my last video stream, I will be auto-loading these. The reason being is I am a keyboard and mouse player, and I do find some of the front loader work and anything to do with having to hold and click the mouse and working a keyboard at the same time just a little bit annoying. And yeah, anything I sort of feel would be easier in real life, sort of just try and make up for with a bit of automation, which makes my life easier, makes it look a bit better, stacks things nicer as well. So yeah, not going for super realism here, but that's the way I sort of want to do about it. Cool, so we're going to start auto-loading. We're set to auto-load from the right. And which loading position have we got? Yeah, we've got this first one. Cool, so... oh, sorry, it's auto-loads set to the left, and I can change it to the right if I want to. So we'll drive on the right-hand side of the logs, so they load from the left. There we go. First stack done. Not too bad. When the first sort of compartment gets full, it does automatically switch to the next one, which is quite handy. And you'll notice that sometimes they stack more to the left because of the gradient on the hill. But yeah, so there you go. It's switched to the rear loading section now. I mean, that auto stack is just great. You need to drive slowly because otherwise they'll roll off the back. Sometimes we get a roller like that. Cool, so how many... oh, we've done more than half, so that's pretty good. I'm going to hop out and get these secured. Now, I know I'm not fully realistic by auto-loading the logs, but, you know, just to maybe add a stroke of realism, I will get out the lorry and strap the logs myself. Cool, right, let's head over to the sawmill and see what we got. First things first, let's just correct whatever's going on here, because that ain't right. Cool, I'll roll this back over here. So, head into the sawmill. one good thing about this trailer is it tells me the weight. So logs loaded 39 and it's 20.5 tons. Need that. Just a bit of cab view. Don't know why, but just get into the habit of where there's no beacon, I'll just sort of put the hazards on. I don't know if that's a normal thing to do, but if you've got a wide or heavy load and no beacon, I guess it's good to do that. Thanks, mate. Oh, just as the train is coming. Hey! Oh, thanks for knocking us straight there, mate. Great timing, as always. I couldn't have planned that better myself. But we train corrected us nicely, which is good. I'd like to think in real life that an oncoming car would just sort of stop and let me do a wide turn. But the bot drivers on this game are a little bit rude. Cool. So, sawmill, here we are. Yes. Again, the janky steering is down to playing with keyboard and mouse. I would love to have a wheel and do sort of smooth steering, but yeah, haven't wanted to invest in a wheel just yet. Oh, let's get these big enough then. Considering they were hit by a train, I think they've stayed pretty stable. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, what's that, about 55,000 for not even the entire row. Maybe that was 2/3 of the row. So, real good earner logging. And I have watched a couple of videos on YouTube around the optimum log size. It seems to be sort of between 6 and 9 meters. One YouTuber I watched, Farmer Cop, I think he likes to do lots of tests of what things are the most profitable, i.e. what log length gives you the most money, and sort of between the 6 and 9 meter bracket proved to be the best. So we've got a 6 meter trailer. There you go. You hit me with a train, so I'll take your road sign down. I think at some point today the crop that's growing on the other field, soybean, should be ready. So as we're working, might be able to get a worker in to get that harvested. But we'll see. Cool, so let's just load up these remaining logs from the left, so got to go this side this time and switch it to position 1. Cool. Right, I wouldn't say that is full, but just get that partially strapped up. Turn off the auto load. Right. Let's have a quick look at the crop. So last growing stage. So some point later today we should see that finished. And now let's get on with the next row. Now I am leaving a bit of a stump on these. 2 reasons for that. One is that I have the Lumberjack mod on, which allows me with the chainsaw to get rid of tree stumps, which makes my life so much easier than using a stump grinder. And also because as I'm cutting 6-meter lengths of this tree, there's always a tiny little bit that's less than 6 meters left at the top anyway, so doesn't really matter too much. I'm not wasting any good wood, I guess you could say. Just makes my life a bit easier for clearing the stumps. Alright. Sometimes it just loves to do that. I know there's probably better ways or angles to cut this. I'm just doing it the easiest way I can sort of see how, using keyboard and mouse, dropping a tree on the house. Ooh, that was close. Farmer's wife would not be happy with a tree coming through the roof. So yeah, I'm sure there's probably some real swanky way to do the control the arm and getting trees to fall in a particular way and everything else, but just as I say, trying to make myself and my life a lot easier with just keyboard and mouse. Oh, there goes the porch. Sorry. Jesus. Right, that controls that. Controls that. Controls that. can't remember. We get that a little bit higher. I think that might make our lives easier. And get us a bit further away from the trees as well, whilst we're cutting them. There we go. That feels a bit better. Managed to control the fall of that one a bit better, rather than landing in the chicken pen. And yeah, if you look to the... I hate how it does that. Yeah, if you look to the left of the porch on the farmhouse, you'll see the saplings I've got. And I've got the hand planting mod, so that's what that little wooden crate is there. So I've hand planted all of these. I've not used a tractor towing a sapling planter. I've just hand planted them all. It does take a bit of time, but then if you sort of look at the time taken to set the planter up, and you know, having the tractor go through up and down the field, it's about the same time, I'd say. And I feel like you can control where you want the trees to go. Let's just move that log out of the way. Yeah, great thing about the Lumberjack mod as well is it gives you a bit of extra strength. You might notice in some later videos that's how I pick up pallets sometimes. Again, I know that's not really realistic, but not so skilled on the forklifting yet. Happy to give it more of a go. Right, 2 trees left of this row. That is going to fall on the chickens. Sorry, chickens. Right, let's get this away from falling on any chickens or horses. Ah, excellent. So it looks like our crop is ready. So what we'll do is we'll park up the John Deere and go get the harvester, start that harvesting, and then I will pick up these logs. I might have to do 2 trips, and then we would have cleared 2 lines of trees. So yeah, this is the Massey Ferguson harvester. And the header is parked just here. I normally help the helper out by clearing the headland first, just because there's not much room on the borders of the fields. I've tried to maximise the field size. As you can see, around some of the fields I've put in, or attempted to put in, what looks like track using the terrain editor. And yeah, this is soybean, but we are getting a swath from it because I've got the Straw Me mod, which allows you to get straw from soybean, canola, and one other, I think, but I can't remember what it is. So basically it gives you some additional straw bale types, which you can sell for more money than typical straw from wheat or oat. The onion greenhouses are full. Because those are so good at and fast at producing onions, and you can sell onions for a good amount of money, I don't take the onions from them as quickly as they're ready. I sort of do like to give it a bit of time, and maybe only use it if I'm really needing a bit of a top up on money for buying new equipment or whatever else. Because if I think I could make a living off of just those onions, to be honest, because each pallet sells for about £6 and each pallet is ready in about maybe half an hour or an hour of game time. So you could just absolutely spam the onion greenhouses and make a lot of money. Which I'm sort of thinking people did with the solar panel placeable. That's another old trick. Take out a loan, buy some solar panel placeables, leave the game running on 120 times speed, maybe leave it overnight, and come back in the morning to a bank full of millions. But yeah, as I said in my last video, hoping you heard me over the engine noises, but I have played this to the rules of the game. I haven't added any money. I have taken some very small loans where I've needed maybe a few extra thousand to buy equipment, but then once I've made that money, I've paid it back. And I have made use of all the mods that are available. That's for sure. I've got a couple of placeable mods that earn me money. The windmill that's behind me right there. There's another one on that hill over there. And then there's also a phone mast, which you'll see behind me there as well. Cool, so that's one headland done. I'm 40% full, so I'm going to empty the harvester first. And then we use the JCB just because that's quick for getting trailers where they need to be. JCB fast track, top speed 40. Very useful for running stuff around quickly. And because it's got the front and rear steering, very maneuverable. So let's just get this amount of soybean empty. Way. As I said, very maneuverable. Way, switch it off, then get the helper recruited and working. There we go. So hopefully helper can just get on with that. Undeterred, and we can crack on with some logs picked up. Brakes working overtime on this poor lorry. I switch to right, hopefully that will that one up. Switch back to left. Let's switch position to 2 then. Strap this up. Because we don't want too overloaded. Let's just try this one again. Gone a bit wonky. Yep, so the Lumberjack mod, as you'll notice, does give me some extra strength, which may not be super realistic, but you know, in a real farm, probably have a few people doing what is a one-man job in Farm Simulator, so have to excuse the Superman strength. Just makes my life a little bit easier. I mean, let's face it, sometimes you have to manually intervene a little bit, whether it's stuff not selling at the sell point. I know that some crates you have to tilt to actually get them to sell, or you have to sort of move them about and wobble them to actually get them to sell. Cool, I think I'm going to call that full and then strap up the rest. Then hopefully we'll have a safer trip to the sawmill this time. Avoid any trains. The to get on 26%, so he's all good. Should be back by the time he's close to 80. So yeah, as I mentioned in my last video, I would like to buy this field and potentially the next one along. You'll see that there's the land space is actually a lot bigger than the field space, so there's a chance to expand the field and also the chance to cut down the trees on the field as well to make some money from the trees. So I don't cut down every tree, but any tree that sort of makes sense to make the land productive. Sometimes making the land productive is planting lots of trees and then cutting them down. Right, a bit heavier this time, 23.5 tons, so the lorry's struggling a little bit. There we go, train has gone, so we are safe. My driving in the game can really depend on the mood. Sometimes I like to stick to lane and try and turn at junctions, and then sometimes I just want to maximise my sort of game time hours. So yeah, cut corners, drive on the wrong side of the road, overtake traffic when probably shouldn't, and so forth. But it's a game at the end of the day, so it's not as if I'm driving on a real road. Here we are, back at the sawmill. See, it's so heavy I overshot it a little bit. Oh, unlatch that. Okay. Cool, so that was over 60,000, that load. So yeah, 23.5 tons, about 60,000. So yeah, logging, very profitable. The equipment is very expensive, but there are mods to help you get started. When I first started on the farm, there's obviously a few trees knocking about that are in the way, and I was sort of cutting them down manually with a chainsaw, cutting them to size so I could carry them, and then I did try using some of the log grabbers, and it takes so much time investment to just cut down one tree, chop it up into bits, and grab it with the log grabber, which can sometimes be very flaky. So yeah, decided to get the Lumberjack mod, make my life a little bit easier, can carry heavier logs, and then also having the logging machine makes the job a lot quicker in terms of measuring. I did have the measure tape mod as well, so when you're cutting a log you can set sort of a and B point to measure the log length and cut it to whatever length you want to cut it to. But the machine just does it every time. Bang, 6 meters, done. Right, let's get you over here. Stop you there for now. You're on 60, so yeah, we maybe get to you. So there's a bit of an undulation in this field, which means that sometimes helper especially misses the section. I might be able to catch him before he turns around. Oh. Okay. So we'll just park this up here for now, out of the way. And then back over to bad boy, start her up, and start loading from the left again. Position 1. You need a little nudge. Not that much. Jesus, gonna land on me. So you might be thinking, what do I do for bales? Absolutely, I auto-load the bales as well. Anything to make my life just a little bit easier. So I don't think we're going to get started on another row, but what I am going to do is start clearing the stumps. So as I said, I've left a little bit of a length on the stump, and just means that you can really clear the stump. If you leave a stump too small, sometimes it doesn't detect it, so just makes your life a bit easier. And as I mentioned, I'm using the Lumberjack mod here, which gives you extra field of cutting in the game, so you can cut stuff at a greater length away. And then also allows you to cut the stumps out. And as I'm going, I'm just finding these little bits that are at the end of the tree as well. But normally just disappear. I did have a stump cutter, but I sold it as soon as I got the Lumberjack mod. I was just, yeah, this way is so much easier to control, quicker. Not sure how realistic it is in real life if you could remove a tree stump with a chainsaw. I know you could sort of cut it right down to ground level, but I know you wouldn't be able to take the roots out. But I don't think you'd be able to do that with a stump cutter on the back of a tractor either, to be honest. So that was all my conscience needed to decide to use the Lumberjack mod. Slightly annoying that you can't sprint with a chainsaw, but I guess that makes for a bit more realism. Don't run with chainsaws, kids. Okay, 2 rows of stumps cleared. Let's just do a little check. Oh, they got everything. Clean of the chickens. They are incredibly messy. And so that's got 2 more rows to do. Okay, so whilst that's happening, I might just tidy up a little bit of the equipment. I'm probably going to be leaving the logging there for today. Done 2 rows, and yeah, from that, taken about what, 100k. Probably have a little look at money taken in. So finances, okay. So yeah, spent 297 on the logging machine, and so far got 118,000 of money from the wood we sold. Got some placeable money as well. So yeah, I mean, we've earned back over a third of our forestry machine in that short time, which is pretty good. So yeah, when we clear those trees right at the top of this area, we will be rolling in it. So I'm going to have to think about where and how I park this, because it's obviously very long and tall, so it's not going to fit in that garage. But if I stretch this out as far as it can go, and then drop it down. Will that fit? I did not think of this. Sad to say that the logging machine might have to live outside, or we'll have to get another shed for it. But for now, we will find a place to park it. Yeah. We'll stash it here for now. Partly sheltered by a tree. Cool, so harvester has finished. Let's tip the rest of the soybean. Just to try not to smash the tractor with the header. I can't leave those bits of soybean unharvested. Does my OCD no good. I haven't got OCD, it's just can't leave something. Can't leave it behind. So let's get it done. Okay. Do you not want to be harvested? Right. Let's change tactic on this, shall we? There we go. Oh, come on. Really? Cool, not a bad wage payment for the worker. Helping us harvest that field. Testing the off-road limits of the harvester there. Just quickly get that last remaining bit. So we'll cover her up and leave you here ready for next time when we'll do a little trip to the shop. Let's fold you away and park you up. Cool. Lastly, just going to do a little check on the animals. Sure, all good. 100%. Yeah, looking good. Cool. So I think that'll be it for today. We've done 2 rows of logging, which has netted us about 118k. Our first time using the logging machinery. Pretty happy with it. Expensive bit of kit, but speaks for itself in terms of how quickly it processes stuff. Not the easiest for keyboard and mouse, but yeah, over time, get used to it. Looks pretty damn cool as well. We harvested the soybean that was already grown. So next time, I think we'll use the fast baler, which is going to sound silly, but I bought the Kverland and Icon DLC just for this, because I've got round bales, and all the round balers you have to bale and stop, and then bale and stop to let the round bale out. But that one is all continuous, so you can just keep baling and baling, and will produce the round bales just like a square baler does, which is great. And it's also got a built-in wrapper as well, so when you're doing the grass, it will automatically wrap the silage, wrap the grass to make silage, so that's great. Cool. So yeah, next time I think we may do 1 strip of the trees. We'll collect all the the soybean straw, get that baled up, take it to the sell point, maybe get some digestate on the field to prep it for the next crop, and see what else we can get up to as well. Cool. But yeah, that'll be it for today. Thanks very much for watching, guys. And if you like what you see, give us a little like or maybe a subscribe. Or if you've got any tips or anything you want to see, just leave me a comment. Feel free. But yeah, thanks very much. Cheers for watching. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.